Hello, and welcome to Across the Omniverse, a podcast brought to you by Cinema Sangha. My name is Devin Faraci. I am one of the hosts of the program. Joining me, as he traditionally does,
my name is Derek Faraci, and one thing I never get about middle-aged guys who get white hair is why do they then have to have a need to grow their beard super long? It's like they're not content with just looking middle-aged. They want to look like they're almost 70 years old. So instead of the pathetic sight of a couple of old dudes talking about comic book movies, now you have a couple of grandpas doing the same.
Is that one of our reviews?
That is a review on our last episode of Daredevil on YouTube.
No kidding.
Go and watch and like and subscribe to.
Hold on, I got this cat in the goddamn room. I tried to get him in here when I closed the door originally, and he doesn't want to come. And as soon as the door closes, then he wants to be in here. You know, life with Gus is very challenging. That's an incredible comment. That's an incredible comment. Wow. Who left it?
I don't know. Somebody.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good.
Charlie Cox.
Charlie Cox. Good to hear from you. That's a pretty good. Reminder for folks to go to our YouTube, which is Cinema Sangha, right? That's just a Cinema Sangha, and like and subscribe over there. Very helpful to us. Very, very kind. Very
subscribe. Watch.
Good. Watch. Let it play in the background. All that good stuff.
Because if you're listening to this right now, you might be like, "Holy shit, these guys have gray hair and beards." I had no idea.
How handsome are these men? So that's a good question, though. Why do we insist on? I know why I insist on having this beard is because I don't have a chin.
Yeah, we have the same genetics. I don't know if you know this.
Yeah. So like, if I don't have
a chin when I was young.
Oh, I never had a chin. You had a really good jawline when you were a kid.
Yeah, it did faded away.
Yeah, I never had it. I always have sort of like a hanging bullshit. I got like George Lucas neck. Not like as bad as George Lucas does, but like later, not later George Lucas, but like middle-aged George Lucas, not that dissimilar to what I'm working with right now.
Yeah.
Nothing I do makes a difference. I've lost like 60 pounds, and it's not made a fucking bit of difference on this neck. Very, very sad. I just published my review of Lee Cronin's The Mummy.
The Mummy.
Did you see it?
No.
It's not a mummy movie. There's no mummies in the movie.
Yeah.
So
are you going to sue them for false advertising?
I already did this on my Instagram. Lionel Hutz, Mr. Simpson, this is the most blatant case of false advertising than since my lawsuit against the Neverending Story. Yeah, I did that already because there's no mummies in this movie. Like, there could be an argument that like there is a mummy, but I think it's such a weak argument that it would not like the little girl who is, I guess, the mummy gets wrapped up in like bindings that like have magic symbols on them, but you can't see it, so you just see her skin. Yeah, no. So it's like, I don't think that counts. That doesn't count as a mummy. You got to see the bandages.
A really interesting thing that was like, having not seen the movie, and somebody was like, it's like if Lee Cronin wanted to make a mummy movie, and they were like, but we don't want it to be too much like the Mummy. He's Irish. Why didn't he do one about the bog mummies? That could have been very interesting.
Or the Peruvian mummies. I mean, but also the thing is, he just made a possession movie. It's a possession. That's all that it is.
That's what I've heard. It's just like a sequel to his Evil Dead movie.
Yeah, I mean, it's good. I didn't dislike it. I enjoyed watching it, but I felt very lied to about the presence of a mummy in this motion picture. I have certain standards for a mummy movie. This meets none of them.
Yeah.
So there's like one scarab in the movie. Like that's like the most that we get, like even like in terms of like Egyptian stuff, like we get a scarab. We don't even get like good Egyptian like aesthetics and stuff, which you want in a mummy movie. You want that stuff.
Is the mummy the least terrifying of the classic Universal monsters?
It depends on which iteration we're talking about here. So the original mummy, the one that Boris Karloff played, he's just a guy who was mummified, and then he spends 10 years as a dude named Ardith Bey. He becomes a historian. And so he's just a guy who was mummified but buried alive and then kept alive by magic. And then when he gets out, he's just a guy. Like, he was a mummy at the beginning, and then the rest of the whole movie, he's just a dude.
Yeah, just a
then the later mummies after that, it's a guy named Caldus, and he is the slower mummy, but he's usually, like, directed by a guy of some sort. So, I don't know. He's not super scary. I think that visually mummies are really scary. I think visually the mummy...
Cool looking.
The Mummy, especially the later Mummy, like with his arm all up and shit like that. Like I think that's the scariest looking of the Universal monsters. But yeah, I don't think he's not the scariest. He's the one that I most feel like I could handle. Like if I had to handle one of them, I'd probably choose him.
You ever see the movie Jimmy Hollywood?
Yeah, long time ago.
There's a good bit where Christian Slater talks about how when he was a kid he was terrified of the Mummy, and Joe Pesci's like, of all the monsters, the Mummy. He's like the Mummy. He's all the way in Cairo. He's slow as shit. I'm here in America. I got all the time in the world to prepare for that guy to show up. And that's kind of how I feel about the Mummy in reality. He's like, well,
I think
slow.
technically, usually you're in Cairo dealing with the Mummy. I feel like, or the Mummy has come to America previously. I do love that you bring up Jimmy Hollywood. This is such a
I
good,
love that movie.
Well, of course you do. It's such a good example of you. And this month on Watchmen, our monthly deep dive movie podcast, Derek got to choose the movie for his birthday month. And much in line with the Jimmy Hollywood, Derek chose The Burbs, which is...
We're going to get very upset with you now.
I'm just saying, like, it's a not super well-remembered comedy from the 80s, 90s.
I think
that's like your sweet spot, man.
Definitely better remembered than Jimmy Hollywood.
Probably, but still, it's in the same general bucket. We're all putting it in the same bucket.
I don't think they're going to do a Jimmy Hollywood TV show.
I don't see why not.
Neither do I, but
actually, I think Jimmy Hollywood
would
be a pretty good TV show, actually.
I agree. I think it's a great idea. I guess in some ways Iron Man 3 is the Jimmy Hollywood remake. Really think about it.
Yeah, I mean, but that's very you. But anyway, we did The Burbs on Watchmen, and that is a podcast that's available to subscribers at the $7 and above level at the Patreon, www.patreon.com/cinemasangha, SANGHA. Go over there and get a subscription. We're going to be doing Mandalorian and Grogu next month, so it's going to be pretty exciting.
Yeah, should be. Hopefully,
you're a little low today.
Am I?
Yeah, you're a little quiet. Maybe you're just feeling very quiet. Is that the story? You're just feeling like sort of. I drank a Celsius. I drank a Celsius before this podcast. Ooh. So I should probably crash out about halfway through.
There you go.
We got any news this week?
We do. Andy Serkis has seemingly revealed that Aman Vellani is in Doomsday, in the Avengers Doomsday.
Sounds great. We had a suspicion they were going to be putting all of the young Avengers in this movie.
Yeah. He mentioned they were doing an interview together for their new film Animal Farm.
Mm-hmm.
And she said in the interview she's like, I'm really excited to see Gollum, and he's like, I'm really excited to see you in Doomsday, and she gets very nervous. She's like, I don't think I'm in that one. They don't do a very good job of hiding it.
And his Animal Farm gives Animal Farm a happy ending.
Yes, as it should.
Thankfully, thank God, somebody finally gave Animal Farm a happy ending.
Yeah, I made a joke about that today on Blue Sky. That was Andy Serkis's Tale of Two Cities. It was the best of times. The end. There you go. But yeah, so it looks like she's going to be in it. I hope so, because I think she's very good in the role, and I enjoy her very much. So we'll see. Brian Helgeland is writing a script for a Django Zorro crossover based on the comic by Quentin Tarantino and Matt Wagner.
That's your boy, Matt Wagner.
That is. I love Matt Wagner.
Yeah.
Love it. Get that money, Matt. Get that money, Matt. After Netflix screwed you over and never even released the Grendel show they made.
Well, whatever. If they paid him for it, they didn't really screw him over.
Well, if it did well, it got more seasons.
Yeah.
They got paid more.
It wouldn't have. It's Netflix. It would have got one more.
No, it
season.
looked terrible. I mean,
well, it looked terrible
they
to me.
put out of the costume did not look good.
I mean, maybe then, in fact, what they did is they gave him a break. Yeah.
Yeah. It's very possible. I do feel bad for the actor that played Grendel in the show, because he was clearly very, very excited to be starring in his own show, and nobody saw it. But yeah, so that's happening or not, who knows? Lee Sung-jin, who is writing the X-Men movie for Marvel, said that the movie is going to lean into the soap opera elements of the team, saying that while the old movies leaned into the political backdrop, that's what's exciting about Jake's vision for this movie is he wants to get back to the characters first. He wants to lean into those inner character dynamics and relationships, the soapy stuff back in the comics, me, Joanna, Jake, Kevin, and Lou have been in rooms every single day, like literally in the Marvel room. They have every character in the X-Men comics put on the wall. You're just staring at the best IP on the planet.
So that's great news to me. That's
It's
like incredibly good news to me. That's exactly the angle I want to hear that they're doing.
It's mixed to me.
What do you mean? Why is it mixed?
But he's also because I don't think you can get rid of the political backdrop.
He's not saying we're getting rid of it. He says we're focusing on the soap opera.
He wants to get back to character first. He wants to lean into the inner character dynamics and relationships.
Yeah, that's not saying he's getting rid of the politics. You're reading into a thing. He's saying that what they're most interested in is the character stuff. The political stuff is a piece of it, and so it's going to be there no matter what. But like, we did not previously forward that stuff in the previous X-Men movies, and in fact, not only did we not, we only forwarded that for like 2 or 3 characters that had like interpersonal things going on. And it sounds like they understand that you want the group to have a myriad of relationships and bouncing off of each other in different ways. That's very exciting to me. This is the thing.
You need to have Professor X thinking, oh, if only my student Jean Grey loved me.
But like, we talked a lot about like the old Claremont days, and like they would play softball and shit or have barbecues, and that was something that there was no space for in the Bryan Singer era X-Men movies. No. And so it sounds like they're trying to make space for that, which makes me very excited.
Yes, I mean, if we get to see like some of that infighting and stuff like that, I'm all for it. I am down. If it's more than just like Cyclops calls Wolverine a dick once every movie, great. You know, get into it. Because that's all it was in the old ones. It would be like 2 seconds of like in fighting in the team. Then they'd be like, we have to work together. And it's kind of boring.
Yeah.
Lanterns has an official start date, debut of August 16th.
All right.
So, did you see the Lanterns confusion?
What was that Lanterns confusion?
They pulled the trailer off of like all of the official YouTube pages, and it was gone for a couple days, and they put it back up, and now it has the date on it. But they also changed the music in it, and so everyone's like, "Oh, they may have put it up and not have had the rights to Springsteen State Trooper." And had to
that seems quite plausible. Yeah, they thought that they had it buttoned up, and they didn't have it buttoned up. Yeah, that's very plausible. I mean, it's bad, it's stupid, but I can see that happening.
Yeah. Weird. So now I guess it only plays like 4 seconds of State Trooper on like a loop almost.
Oh well, no. Then they still couldn't use it. Then they must have the rights. There must be something going on. I know somebody who does music clearances, so I will be talking to him soon. I will ask him what he knows or thinks about this turn of events.
Yeah, I wonder if it is actually still State Trooper, or if it's just very similar, and I can't tell the difference because I'm not musical. You know, because it's just like the guitar bit, dum 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 dum, that bit. It's like, who knows? Entertainment Weekly got a look at the first couple of pages of Spider-Man: Brand New Day, and revealed some secrets. I don't know how deep you want to go into that.
It's so funny because they publish the pages with the handwritten notes on it, and it's so phony. It's dry. Like, it makes me laugh. Like, it's so phony. Like, how did Tom get a copy of my script? Is written on the side of it. But you know what? I don't think there's anything that revelatory in here, right? It seems like a lot of stuff we already knew. Am I wrong?
If things we knew or we just kind of guessed at, I suppose. You know. But who knows?
I mean, I guess the one thing that's interesting is that it specifies that the movie takes place 9 months after the last movie.
9 months after the last scene of the last movie.
Yeah, but that was still that same year. They didn't jump ahead 5 years.
That was like Christmas because it was snowing. So
now it's September. So I guess the question is that this opening, there's a montage. This ends with like it says montage, and so I wonder if then there's another time jump in that during that montage. That montage is like a long time jump.
Yeah, that's very plausible.
That makes a lot of sense because, yeah, it does. That makes a ton of sense. And then at some point in that time jump, jump, the events of Daredevil Born Again season 2 occurs.
Yeah. Yeah. And I guess season 1, since they're both roughly at the same time.
Yeah, but like season 1, you maybe would not have Spider-Man involved in. Season 2 is the one where you begin wondering where Spider-Man is, and why nobody's mentioning Spider-Man. So at some point, maybe he's like kidnapped, captured by a villain. He's trapped in the Savage Land for 6 months.
That'd be fun.
Although, how much time is passing in Daredevil season 2?
Between 20 hours and 20 months. One or the other. It's unclear.
Once again, this
Not
another
get cleared up
episode.
in this episode.
No,
Yeah.
this episode once again makes it very hard to understand.
There was one point where I was like, wait a minute, hold on. And I had to rewind. I was like, I paused it. I was like, wait, okay. Okay, we definitely saw a night. And then we see this. And I was like, I don't know what's happening. I don't know what's happening. Yeah.
Oh, man.
We have that. And then we got a new Masters of the Universe trailer.
All right, so I watched this Masters of the Universe trailer, and I'm going to watch the shit out of this stupid fucking movie. Like, yeah, you know what? Like, when Trapjaw shows up, I was like, all right, you got me. Like, I'm not even a big Trapjaw guy, but it's just Trapjaw with his dumb hand and his dumb jaw.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, all right, I'll watch this shit. And
did you like the close-up of Fister's Fist, or whatever his name is? That guy? Yeah.
Yep, Fisto. Fisto.
Fisted them all.
I fisted them all. So, you know, the thing is, like, the first teaser that we got really made this seem like it was going to be a movie that was mostly on Earth. At this point, it does seem as if we're going to get the first 15 minutes on Earth.
Yeah.
That does seem to be the vibe that we're getting from these later trailers. And that is good for me. It looks dumb as hell. But again, like, the fact that it is really just a complete one-to-one adaptation of the toys is remarkable to me. I wonder if He-Man purists are going to be mad that He-Man has like a sense of humor and shit. He makes some quips in this trailer, and in the cartoons, He-Man was like not very interesting, frankly. Did not have a great personality. So I do wonder. Also, there doesn't seem to be a difference between Adam and He-Man. Is that also going to be a problem for the hardcore people? I don't know. But
I've never... Even when I was a kid, I did not understand why He-Man had a secret identity.
There's no reason. I mean, there's like no actual reason.
Yeah.
It's just like a thing that superheroes did, so they gave him one. Like, that's honestly, like, that's like it. Like, I think they did it so that he could have, like, stuff happened in a subplot while also having He-Man stuff happen. Do you know what I mean? Like, when he's a regular guy, even though he's a prince, he's a regular guy, you can have different stuff happening as a B story, while the A story is He-Man doing something else. That's my take. That's my guess. You know, the guy who created He-Man died today.
He died yesterday on He-Man Day, on Masters of the Universe Day.
Son of a bitch. You went right out on He-Man Day.
You know, his family had to start a GoFundMe because he had dementia and it was costing them a lot of money. And the toy company that makes He-Man, they were very good about it. They gave $5,000.
Oh, my God.
Thanks a lot, guys.
Jesus Christ, Mattel. $5,000?
That's what I read.
God, that's fucking embarrassing. That's horrible.
Billions of dollars He-Man has made for them.
Oh, man. Like, they spent probably $175 million in this fucking movie.
At least, yeah.
Give this guy $100 grand is not even enough, but like, give the guy $100 grand. Like, that's...
Give him, I don't know, fucking healthcare and just cover the costs. How about that? Oh, he's got dementia. You got to put him in an assisted living home. Yeah, we'll cover the costs. How about that? How about you do that? It was like the biggest toy thing in the world for like 4 years. They made so much money off of this guy's ideas.
Yeah, and they're continuously trying to bring it back and stuff. So, like, yeah, it just seems... And the timing of it, it's one of those things where you're like, oh, man, the timing of this is a good opportunity to get very good press.
Yes.
And I don't want to reduce stuff to that. But, like, at the end of the day, somebody in that company should have said, yes, it's going to cost us $2 million, but that's $2 million organic press. That's $2 million positive sentiment. That, you know, that is very good for us. And whatever reason that they're doing it for, whether it be altruistic or just because they want to make more money, who cares? He would have been taken care of.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Maybe Mattel killed him.
Maybe. I mean,
Maybe
he's
they're
like
like,
95, so.
if we kill him on He-Man Day, we can get that same organic bump.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say like they had to kill him on He-Man Day as like a sacrifice to make sure the movie is successful.
Maybe that's it. That's actually much more interesting than mine. Mine is
They
just
had to sacrifice him to Grayskull or whatever.
yeah. Mine is an episode of Succession. Yours is like an episode of Tales from the Dark Side. So I mean, I'm going to take Tales from the Dark Side over Succession every single day.
There you go. There you go. Yeah. Well. Yeah, that trailer exists. I didn't think it looked good.
I thought it looked exactly like what I want it to look like. It's not good. Like, I mean, I'm not going to go into it and go, I hope this is a good movie. I know it's not going to be good. If it's watchable, I'm going to have an oversized, I'm going to give it 3 stars on Letterboxd if it's watchable.
Let me be clear. What I mean when I say it didn't look good is it looks like the trailer isn't even sure what the tone of the movie is. And I think that's a problem. You know.
I think it's, there's like jokes in it, but it's mostly serious. It's got
that's what I'm saying. It starts off with jokes, it ends with jokes, and then the vast majority of it is like, this is a serious sci-fi fantasy movie.
I think it's trying to give the exact same tone as a Marvel movie. I think that's exactly the tone they're going for, and the kind of tone that Marvel trailers have had, which is to assure you that this will be fun and funny, but also quote unquote badass and intense. That's what it's trying to convince you of. So I think it does that fine. It doesn't make me think it's going to be too funny. Like, that's the thing. My concern is that it's going to be just a comedy.
No, it's definitely not going to be that from the looks of it.
Right. And I don't mind that it's funny, by the way. This is not my, but like, to make a movie, I don't want the whole movie for He-Man to be running around commenting on how dumb everybody looks. Like, that's not what I want. Like, I want them to just look dumb all the time, and just that's the deal.
There is something great about watching Idris Elba dressed as Man-at-Arms with that goofy helmet, sitting there with He-Man and being like, I have failed before as well. The important thing is that we get up and try again. And it's like,
see, that really appeals to me. That appeals to me in a very big way. Like, so that's the thing. But like, I don't want, like, one of the things that he seems to know who everybody is, so that might actually make us not have to have a scene where He-Man goes, wait, your name is Fisto? Do you know what I mean? Like,
God,
we can just,
so.
we can, although they still might, like, but it's closer to being able to roll with it than having to fucking like wink at the audience and dance around stuff. So
yeah. And also still no Orko.
Yeah, no Orko. Maybe they're saving it for the sequel, man.
Yeah, he just shows up in the post-credit scene.
He could be like at the end of the movie, like Orko comes out of a portal or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like we could like bring in like She-Ra in the sequel and shit like that too.
Sure, why not?
There won't be a sequel, by the way. It's not going to happen. But
who knows? Like, I would not have thought that the Minecraft movie was going to make almost $1 billion.
See, the thing is, the Minecraft movie,
though, people got into chicken stuff.
But the Minecraft movie appeals to an audience. There's an audience for the Minecraft movie. It's not really super clear who the demo of the Masters of the Universe movie is at this point, because kids don't know it or care about it. Yeah, I mean, it's like 40 and 50-year-old guys. Yeah. Like, so that's the thing. That's not a terrific demo at this point.
No.
You know what I mean? Like, we don't get out to the sort of generally, we don't get out to the movies the way that we did when we were in our 20s or in our teens. And so Minecraft appealed to tweens and teens, and they get out to the movies. Yeah. In fact, they're the biggest segment of moviegoers right now.
Yeah.
And so that
makes
sense.
Probably too late for the like father-son, father-daughter.
Oh yeah, no, like
thing, right?
Yeah, like my friend Drew, who used to be known as Moriarty, he has 2 kids, and both of those kids are kind of like too old for He-Man, but not old enough for He-Man.
Yeah.
You know? So, like, you know, he's got a kid in college. Yeah. And so that's like the vibe. I think a lot of Gen X people who are fans of this, they have kids in college. It's just they're too old, but they're also not old enough. Like there's like a 20 to 30 range where you're like, give me a fucking break, He-Man, and then maybe you can go, okay, He-Man. You come back around. So,
I mean, it doesn't help that they didn't keep the thing going. Like Star Wars, they keep it going. So even when it's not like super popular, there's still things out there for kids to like recognize it.
I mean, they tried.
They'd be like, "Oh, that, yeah."
They've tried. They had the Kevin Smith He-Man on Netflix, which was going for a minute.
But well, I mean, that runs into the exact kind of thing that I complain about a lot, where it's like, "Oh, we're going to take this thing that we loved as children and now make it really adult," and like He-Man's suffering from depression,
right?
And it's like, what the fuck? I don't want to see. Like, who wants that? Like, what? What world is there where it's like we need a dark, serious He-Man?
Yeah, I don't want you taking He-Man seriously. That's the thing. I don't mind you adding some emotional weight to it because you're making a movie and you need to add some emotional weight to a thing. It can't just be stupid all the time. Like even Speed Racer, which I think is the ultimate idea of what a cartoon movie can look like, has emotional weight in it.
Yes.
So I want that in a He-Man movie still. I want some kind of emotional weight. But yeah, not that kind of emotional weight. Not that, like, things are bad, I'm sad. Like, that's not.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. A bummer.
All right, what else we got?
Anyway, we also got a new trailer for Spider-Man or Spider Noir, the TV series.
This is the most story-oriented trailer we've gotten, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I like it. It looks good.
I am fucking excited. I thought it looked great.
Yeah, I mean,
it looked fun.
I have like a little bit of a I don't know, like I worry about Sin City-ification. And I also am really curious, like, do any of these tropes still exist for people? You know what I mean? Like, or do they only recognize the tropes because they've seen them in cartoons that are riffing on the tropes? Like, I'm kind of very curious about like that. Like, hey, look at this guy over here. Like that kind of like 1930s guy. Like, do people get that anymore? I mean,
I know I will, and that's all that matters. Like, I don't, like, I don't care. I thought it looked fun. I thought it looked interesting. There's a good gag in there at one point, a good joke. I'm looking forward to it.
We get some villains. We see Electro.
Sandman.
Sandman. Was that Sandman or was that Swarm?
Sandman, apparently.
That was Sandman? Okay. And there's a guy on fire. I'm not really sure who that is.
No idea.
Molten Man, maybe? I don't know.
Maybe.
But yeah, I mean, it looks, it looks good. Are you going to watch it in black and white or color?
Well, for this show, I always watch things twice, so I'll probably do one black and white, one color.
Okay. Interesting. I'm going to watch it in black and white.
I'm definitely going to watch it black and white first.
I mean, because the black and white in this trailer looked really good. Like, the problem is sometimes when they take something and make it black and white, they just desaturate it, and that's not. But this has the contrast levels that you would expect of something that was shot for black and white, and it looks like a black. I mean, obviously, the digital stuff makes that so much easier now than way back in the day. But like, it looks pretty good in black and white. Like, it was meant to be seen in black and white. The only problem is that means that I'm going to only have to watch it after dark.
Yeah, that's true.
Because I'm going to end up just watching my living room reflected against Nick Cage's face. Yeah, see myself. Yeah. Finally, representation.
It's me.
I see myself in Spider Noir. Oh, man. We got anything else?
That's all I got for news.
Huh. That's a light news week for us, huh?
I guess so, yeah.
Yeah, I guess it is. I'm trying to think if I saw anything, and I don't know that I did. I don't think I... there's an old quote from the Joe Russo that's going around.
The AI thing? Yeah.
The AI thing with Marilyn Monroe. Very bad quote. Very bad quote. That looks bad, but it's old at the very... So I'm not going to necessarily be too mad at him. Yeah. There's rumor that there was a major scene in the end of this episode of Daredevil that they shot two takes on.
Yes, I have that. For
you had that for later when we talk. Okay, I didn't know if you had that.
I didn't want to put that in the news because I know some people listen to the news and before they watch the show and then come back to us later. So I didn't want to put it in news and letters. And stuff.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. I'm not trying to spoil, but like, there's a thing that happens and they did do. So somebody found an old clip of Robert Downey Jr. on a British talk show doing an Eastern European accent, and somebody else was like, having seen the Doomsday footage, this is what he sounds like in the Doomsday trailer. Oh. Which I think is interesting. I mean, I'm kind of excited that he's going to do an accent. Like, I think that's like fun to me.
I agree. I mean, they're definitely. I'm surprised he's doing one. If he really is doing one, it wasn't just somebody saying that online.
Right.
But I am all for it because I don't know if it would directly affect, but I think it would definitely hit my ear weird if Doctor Doom does not have an accent. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
he should have one.
Yeah, he 100% should, but it's funny because he's not really written that way. And he's written from an era where they gave everybody accents like Mark Twain did, like just really obvious accents. Like they were written totally in that way. And he's not written that way.
Do that?
What was that?
Did Stan Lee do that kind of thing?
Oh my God, yeah.
Because he didn't do it with Craven.
I don't think Craven had an accent. I don't think he was written with an accent. I know, but he was like not written with an accent. Some of the other characters are definitely written with accents.
He didn't do it with like Black Panther.
But I guess you're not going to give Black Panther the quote unquote black accent, right? You're not going to give that to him.
Well, African accent. He's from.
Yeah, but I don't know how you.
I don't know how you write that out. I guess.
Yeah. I feel like they were, but maybe I'm wrong. I know in the '70s they certainly fucking were.
Chris Claremont gave it to everybody.
Yeah, Chris Claremont loved it. Yeah,
I distinctly remember reading issues of X-Men where I'm like, I have to read Gambit's dialogue 3 times because I can't figure out what he's saying. Oh no, my God! It would be written that
way. Yeah. So I guess yeah. So anyway, you know what? I'm getting hopeful about Doomsday.
I'm not.
No, why not?
Just I don't feel like they've earned it, so I'm not excited about it.
I don't know what that means.
Like that they're doing like here it is, the next major event in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, but I don't feel like they've done a good job building to it. So I'm just not that boosted.
I don't think I care about that. I think that that's a thing that we started doing in modern comic books as an attempt to sell more copies of books like Road to or whatever kind of shit. And then they did that in the movies to an extent. I don't think there was much build up to Avengers Age of Ultron in any meaningful way.
No, there wasn't to Age of Ultron, but there was to Infinity War. And that's kind of what they're trying to push.
But there wasn't to Infinity War. That's the thing about Infinity War. No, it's not.
Yes, you had the different Infinity Gems popping up everywhere. You had like all that kind of stuff going on.
Yeah, but the beginning of Infinity War is Thanos getting the fucking Infinity Gems.
Yes, because they did very bad to set it up. But it still felt like, you know, and one thing that does not help is them running around and being like, oh, we're gonna put out Endgame again. It's gonna have new scenes that connect directly into Doomsday, and it's a bridge right to Doomsday, and it's like, you know, I'm not excited to see Steve Rogers come back. I feel like that's a step backwards. You know, I want to see these new characters that we haven't seen interacting, and we will. I know we will.
No, we definitely will. They're all in it.
Yeah.
I mean,
but like I just feel like everything about the movie feels like, oh no, we messed up real bad. We got to run and try and save everything.
Yeah, it does. But I think the thing is that I think that since this is a multiverse movie, I feel like that's been really established. I think that, in fact, people were complaining about the amount of multiverse shit. So I think that I don't agree that it's not been established. It's been way fucking established.
They did 2 multiverse movies?
The Loki is a fucking TV show about the multiverse. In which the multiverse is reborn in the course of the 2 seasons of Loki. We had multiverse coming in at the end of the Marvels. We have multiverse in the last Spider-Man movie. I feel like there's been other multiverse stuff too. People complain about
Doctor Strange.
Doctor Strange, yeah, Multiverse of Madness, yeah. So I feel like that's enough. That's actually more set up than the original Avengers got. Do you know what I mean? Like, so like, I think that like the basic premise, obviously, you know, they pivoted from Kang, but it's still multiverse stuff. And so I don't know. It feels like it's set up to me. I don't feel like I need much more setup. And I've also at this point, 15 years or more into the Marvel Universe, I know that none of this shit actually connects that well. So like, whatever, who cares? Like, I honestly like, they're not going to set anything up because I don't care to set anything up because they're actually going to follow through on it.
No, they're not. They're not.
So like whatever. I mean, so it go. You know, that's kind of my take on it. So, did you watch the newest episode of The Boys?
I did.
We're going to talk about the newest episode of The Boys now. So if you haven't watched it, maybe just like sort of skip ahead 5 to 10 minutes is my take. I think this might be like one of the best episodes of The Boys ever.
I was real back and forth on it for a bit. And then like the second half, amazing. Great stuff.
See, I thought the first bit with Firecracker was amazing.
The first bit with Firecracker I thought was great. And then the next two bits I was kind of like,
Well, I liked the Black Noir bit. I thought was great too.
Black Noir was good, but I felt like it was going too long. And then the stuff with the dog, I was like, this is...
Oh, I really like the stuff with the dog. I honestly really... And the stuff with the dog is good because it just allows them to like push the main hero's story along a little bit. But also it just... I mean, honestly, we get to see Homelander on all fours saying... You want to fuck me in the ass to a dog. Like, that's fucking amazing. That's like incredible. Do you want this turkey leg? You get to fuck me in the ass first.
Yeah. I mean, it's a major bit because it's in saving the dog is where Butcher is like, okay, I guess maybe we shouldn't kill everybody.
Yeah. So I think that's, I thought that I like the dog, man. I like the dog a lot.
Well,
like,
I just like
looking
the dog
at
was
the
in
dog.
the show more. Yeah.
100%. I like looking at the dog. Like, I just don't even like, just when like, and doing like the dog POV and having it be desaturated so it's kind of black and white. Like, I really like that a lot. The dog POV of fucking the Homelander doll was amazing. I don't know. I really like the dog stuff a bunch.
I thought it went a little long. But, I mean, the episode's long. The episode's like an hour and a half.
I mean, it's a great episode, though, I think. And I think it also captures like some of the old spirit of The Boys that the show has lost in the last two seasons.
I 100% agree with that. I 100% agree with it. Especially the episode before, I thought was very bad. I did not like it all. And this I enjoyed a lot.
I liked elements of the episode before. I liked the idea that they're all fighting each other. I don't know why they needed to bring fucking Homelander into it again. I think that this episode kind of proves that you just don't... They did not need to always have Homelander bump into these guys every single episode. Maybe it's actually better if there's like a different story happening with Homelander. There's like, again, enough shit happening in Vought that Homelander could be busy.
It's funny because it's been forever since I watched the first season, but I feel like the first season, they don't run into Homelander until the very end.
That's right.
And it's this terrifying thing.
It's a big moment,
shit, it's Homelander.
Yeah. And I think for the second season, I think it was mostly that too. It was mostly kept to the finale.
Yes.
But then eventually it just became like every episode.
And also in the second season, I think it's the second season, right? Where now Queen Maeve is helping them out and stuff. Right. Like they have power people that can deal with Homelander,
right.
Or at least slow him down and whatnot while Huey runs away.
Right.
Like, but then it becomes a thing where it's like every time they go to the corner store and Homelander's also getting a fucking snack. And it's like, what is going on?
That's exactly what it's like. Mother's Milk is like, shit, I forgot that this is when he gets his Twinkies.
Yes.
Like, Huey, hurry up in there. Get that Gatorade right now.
And maybe I missed it in the week before's episode where they're all looking in that
the military base.
But Frenchie just isn't affected by the thing.
He has a conversation about it.
I have no memory of that.
Oh, you should watch the show.
Was it Frenchie talking? Because then maybe I just shut down.
Yes. Well, there's actually a really good meme on Reddit, which is on the Boys subreddit, which is don't start shit with Boys fans. We don't even watch our own show. But yes, Frenchie says that because he has abused drugs so significantly in his life, it fucked up his brain in such a way that this stuff does not affect him, which I think is great. That's actually really fun. That's like fun boys stuff. I wish it wasn't Frenchie. I hate Frenchie. But I like that premise of that episode. They were fighting each other. I just wish that we didn't have to have Homelander and Soldier Boy in it. But this week we have our Supernatural reunion.
Yeah.
Jared Padalecki and Misha Collins show up. And what do you think the Supernatural fans are going to feel when they inevitably watch this episode? I can't imagine happy.
I don't know. Probably not. There was a part of me that I was honestly like, is there going to be a moment where like two of the Supernatural boys make out?
I honestly am surprised they didn't do that. Like I legitimately am surprised they didn't do that. And I wonder if the actors didn't want, I mean,
there's no spot for it in the episode.
I guess, but I feel like there's no reason that there couldn't be a spot for it. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't know, like Misha Collins is playing a guy that makes gas come out of his mouth, but like,
Yeah.
what if he was just a guy that made like mind control or something like that? Like, you know what I mean? He could make, I don't know. I feel like you could have walked your way into it. Like, it's The Boys. Like, you could make anything happen.
Oh yeah, if they wanted to have two of them make out, they would just put it in there somewhere. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think it would have been really fun. I will say that Jared Padalecki, man, get a new plastic surgeon, bro. Not looking good, man. Not looking good. Like, Jensen Ackles, he's almost certainly getting work done, but like, it's pretty good work. I thought that Jared Padalecki looked kind of like a burn victim a little bit.
I disagree with. I don't think it's surgical work that he's had done. I think the dyeing of his hair and beard was too much.
Is that what it is?
That's because I was looking at him. I was like, man, you look like a '50s GI Joe action figure.
Although, I mean, obviously that character would be dyeing his hair and his beard.
Yes.
Because he's the original speedster from the 7 Marathon, and he's a loser now. They got rid of him because of A-Train showed up, and he ended up making bullshit movies.
Sony movies.
So
they're not allowed to mention the Vought first. I like that.
Yeah,
that was funny.
It was really good. And then we get all of Seth Rogen's buddies show up to get exploded, which seems like a pretty fun thing to be able to do with your day. I like that Will Forte specifies that they executed Bill Hader.
Yes. Yes. And that in doing so, he has now reached the level of no auditions. Of no
Yes. Yes. Now that Bill Hader's dead, yes.
Yeah. I like that. I like that they call him the Gruber.
Yes, that's really good. Yeah. I actually like also when Jared Padalecki is holding Seth Rogen, who's cut in half, and is like, I'll always think of you whenever I watch an American Pickle. That's fucking
Seth Rogen
great.
goes, what?
Yeah, it's so good. You know, I kind of like that movie, actually.
I like that movie a lot.
Yeah, it was pretty good. It's definitely a lost to pandemic movie. Nobody will ever think of that movie ever again.
No.
But I thought it was like charming. I thought it was fun.
Enjoyable. It was very enjoyable. I thought. Yeah. No, like the whole bit. I liked all the McLovin is there, and he's trying to get
Michael Cera
to kill Michael Cera. Yeah.
It's really good.
That was good.
It's really good. Yeah, it's really a good bit of like wink wink inside friend shit. And you could argue that it goes on for a very long time, but like I don't mind it because it's like very funny. And I just like when people make fun of real celebrities on this show. I really like that, you know. And
it depends on how they do it. Sometimes they do it real lazy, and I find that boring. You know, where it'll be like Soldier Boy. They do it Soldier Boy all the time, where like they'll just pull a Family Guy, and he'll be like, "This is like the time that I got fucked in the ass by B. Arthur," and it's like, okay. You know,
I don't know.
like,
I kind of like some of that stuff.
No, sometimes it's funny, but like when you have Will Forte there, and he's like Homelander, remember me? I'm the one who reported Channing Tatum to you. And it's like that makes me laugh. You know?
Well, you remember the episode where Soldier Boy said that he one time had a 3-way with Gary Busey?
Yes.
The kid who plays Ryan is friends with Gary Busey's son, and he filmed Gary Busey's son watching that live and put it on the internet.
That's fun.
It's pretty. And also, the funny thing is, Gary Busey's son, I mean, just like his other son, but like, it's Gary Busey's son. Like, there's nobody needs to do a fucking DNA test on this kid. Let me tell you what.
Like Jake Busey?
Yeah, just like Jake Busey. Like, it's like, oh no, that's 100% Gary Busey's DNA in there.
You know, I met Jake Busey once. He was very, very, very cool.
He's a nice guy. But
I'm big fans of his from the movie The Stoned Age, in which he's the bully in that movie. And at one point they explained him as having massive upper body strength. And when we met him, my buddy Than went up to him and was like, "Hey, do you still have massive upper body strength?" And he went, "Fuck yeah." He was all into it. It was good.
But it's a really good episode, I thought, and it actually again moved the story forward. I think Daveed Diggs is. I mean, I loved Daveed Diggs when he first showed up, but I think he's getting better and better. He's really having a good time in this role, you know. Yeah. And again, like the thing, like obviously Christian nationalism is not new, and that's what they're riffing with here on the Democratic Church of America. But like the fact that they're getting into this thing just as Trump has begun to really get into religious wars with like the Catholics and shit is like unreal.
It's amazing because this episode made it clear where they got the idea, right? Because they introduced the Homelander Bible, which is obviously
the Trump Bible. Yeah,
the Trump Bible is where they were like, oh, we should run with that concept, but they took it to the next level because they're trying to do satire, And then as the episodes are coming out, no, Trump took it to that level. So you're fucked. No, Trump has started a battle with the Pope. Sorry. What are you going to do?
Yeah, because this one they have like Soups attacking churches that are not Democratic Church of America churches. So yeah, I mean, like, it's pretty wild, and I really like that. The thing I really like about this episode too, and again, spoilers. Like, I thought Firecrack was great in this episode.
Yes,
that's a character
fantastic
that they have basically made like a joke the entire time that she's been around. She has such a heartbreaking story in this one, and she does such a great job.
I don't know the actor's name, and I feel bad not knowing her name, but she does something I don't understand. I've seen other actors do this. I don't understand how actors do this. This is like clearly part of the talent, but the ability to sound happy, to be smiling, but your eyes are just filled with rage or like sadness. And she does that when she's talking to Daveed Diggs, and when she's like, "Oh, bless your heart," and all that stuff. I don't understand how you can pull that off. Like, I understand how you can pull it off in reality when you're actually angry but trying to pretend you're not. But like, to act that way, I don't know how you get your brain to do that. Like, it's very impressive.
Yeah, no, she's really great. And I think that her ending, she gets killed by Homelander at the end of the episode. Her ending is like one of the most specific Trump things of all, where she's like, I'm a true believer. All these people are just fucking out to get something from you or afraid of you. And then he kills her. That's exactly what Trump has done to all his own people. Like, all that he has around him now is a bunch of absolute fucking fawning fake sycophants who are just waiting for the opportunity to turn on him, because he has gotten rid of anybody who might have been a true believer at any point. And his inner circle now is like an embarrassing selection of weirdos and freaks. And I mean, not that different from Homelanders, you know?
That's not fair. That's not fair.
I mean, the Deep, come on.
The Deep is obviously Kash Patel for sure, but like Black Noir, no, he's definitely better than him.
Black Noir, no, Black Noir is like he's not the same thing, but he's like an influencer who doesn't necessarily believe in any of this shit, but it's a steady paycheck.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I think there's a lot of guys in the Trump administration that are basically at that level anyway. It's like, oh, I can do Bitcoin here.
There's no way. Yeah, I mean, our military is being led by a fucking Fox News host.
Do you think I'm assuming Black Noir is going to kill the Deep, huh?
Maybe either that or the Deep is going to do something to try and backstab Black Noir, and that's going to end up making Homelander look bad. Like, it'll be during they're going to do the service to like heal Black Noir so he can speak, and the Deep is going to do something there that's going to end up backfiring and make it look like Homelander is not God.
Right.
And that's going to lead to problems.
Although I wouldn't be surprised if the Deep is the only guy to survive out of all those characters.
I also would not be surprised by that.
Because, I mean, one, they obviously like him. Like, they obviously do. They love writing for him.
Yeah.
The actor's incredible. But also, like, he's such a weasel, and that's his whole deal, is being a weasel. Like, it would make a lot of sense that the most weaselly guy is the guy who's left standing at the end.
And he just runs off into the ocean or something?
Yeah, like, it just 100% makes sense. Like, he just fucks off as soon as things start getting real bad.
I mean, honestly, the perfect ending, maybe not perfect, but the ending I would go with if you want to keep the Deep alive, is at the end, everybody's dead, except for the Deep, who is now in charge of Vought and puts together a new Seven. And that's the end of the show. Is like, now this idiot is in charge. Like, it just gets worse and worse.
All right, we got letters this week.
We do. We have the one you asked me to hold on to from Jason. About
get to
pop
get
culture.
to the gist. Get to the gist of the question.
Yep.
Don't read the whole letter.
If there's anything in pop culture you could go back and change for cultural time travel do-over, what would you do?
I thought about it. I gave it a lot of thought, and I think that the answer here is I would go back in time, not even that long ago, but I would go back in time and I would, as Francis Ford Coppola is getting ready to shoot The Godfather Part 3, I would impress upon him how vital it is that he meets Robert Duvall's quote. because he would not meet Robert Duvall's quote for that movie, and then what's his name ended up taking the role, George. Oh my God,
No, not Papard.
George. They're doing a George Papard month at the New Bev this month.
Really? Oh.
Yeah, which I think is kind of amazing. Like people were complaining, New Bev did 2 months of like erotic movies, and then then people were like, why don't you show real movies? And then this month it's like, fine, fuck you. Here's a bunch of George Papard movies that you never heard of, which I think is really great. That's like one of my favorite fucking things anybody's ever done, frankly. George Hamilton is the guy's name. So George Hamilton comes in, not playing the same character, different character. They kill him off in between movies, but I think having Duvall back for The Godfather Part 3 would have really made a big difference in that picture. Yeah. Like a really big difference. And so that's my time machine pop culture thing. Go back and tell Francis Ford Coppola, listen, nobody's going to like this fucking movie. And I understand, like, for whatever reason, we're gonna have to get your daughter in here. Like, that's because
Winona Ryder dropped out.
Winona dropped out. Like, maybe I would try to convince Winona Ryder to stay. I don't know, but like, I would really
get a different actress.
I mean, that's the thing. Maybe I would have convinced him not to hire Winona Ryder or find somebody else who wasn't going to drop out. Do you know what I mean? Like, because when she dropped out, it was so late that that's one of the reasons they went to the daughter, to Sophia. It's one of those. But I actually think Robert Duvall is the bigger problem at the end of the day.
I think a lot of the casting in the movies.
I don't know. I think it's okay. I actually rewatched Part 3 recently, and I think that it's not as bad as everybody says it is.
No, it's not. It's not.
And I think
Did you watch the new release one?
Yeah, I did. Yeah. And that one's pretty good, actually. And I think the big problem with the movie is the same problem the movie's always had for me. I think the Central Vatican plot is a little too convoluted and a little not like it's a little too much guys whispering in hallways. Like it just doesn't have exactly what you need. Like I think The Godfather 1 and 2, all of the politics of the mob shit, like it's up against violence and stuff. You can you don't have to like, you can, like, people who love these movies really know the ins and outs of all of these characters and their relationships, but you can pretty much follow it. But the Vatican stuff in Godfather 3, I feel like can be like a little obscure and not so easy to follow. And which doesn't help the fact that the actual scandal that it's based on is kind of complicated. Yeah. It's a great choice to put him involved in the church because with that whole thing in The Godfather Part 1 with the baptism and him killing all his enemies during the baptism, sort of the way that the mob guys, hold on to the church while being absolute fucking criminals and villains. Like, I think it's smart, but I just think maybe they needed to, like, make it a little bit, either it needs to be a mini series or they needed to make it a little bit more digestible, I think is the thing.
Yeah, I would agree.
But yes, that'd be my
helicopter.
Deal. Yeah, I like the helicopter bit.
I like it in like scene, but in context of the movie, I'm like, this seems way too much.
I like it.
Seems too big.
I like it. But yeah, I would go back and tell him you got to meet Duvall's quote. Whatever he's asking for, it's worth it. Trust me, I've seen the fucking movie. Okay,
you can show it to him back. Here it is. You want to?
Here it is, buddy. You can't be happy with this.
Oh boy!
All right,
just make Megalopolis instead. No.
I love Megalopolis. I love it. And I love Megadoc. If you got Criterion Channel, watch Megadoc, The Making of Megalopolis. Fucking amazing documentary. Great documentary. Delightful. All right, what's our next letter?
Ken Benobi says, salt and vinegar or sour cream and onion?
You know what? I have been facing this exact problem the last couple of days because I've been sort of eating chips more than I should. I've been taking a lot of trips, like long trips, and I will buy myself chips to eat on the trip. I should not be. I am 100% putting back on weight that I lost because I'm just eating, but I'm not eating as many chips as I used to.
No, I guess. It's not that.
What?
I don't. Just all of a sudden in my head, I could just hear George and Jerry in a car going, "Chips on a trip, chips on a trip." Like, I don't think they ever do that in the show, but it just like popped in my head that would be something they would do on Seinfeld.
The two things I get when I go on trips, I either get chips or I get Sour Patch Kids. And I eat both too fast. Like, I can't keep chips in the house. So lately I very often go for like spicy chips, but like when I don't want the spicy chip, Salt and vinegar is the better of the two, and I acquired a taste for salt and vinegar so that because nobody else wanted it, so I could have chips that nobody else wanted. However, sour cream and onion is a little bit delicious. I do think that some later years, I have found that like Lay's sour cream and onion is disgusting.
Yeah.
It's a little greasy and disgusting in a way that it didn't used to be. It's got to be the chemicals they're using now. But what about you? Which one do you go with?
Neither. I go with plain chips, and then I buy a dip. That's what I do.
I buy a dip sometimes. I buy salsa. I don't understand why they make these dip and salsa containers not
Big enough?
big enough to put your chips in. Like, I don't understand. Like, why somebody invent a container that I can actually dip my chips in?
Yeah.
Because I don't want to fucking dump it out into a bowl every single time. Because then I'm left with extra stuff that I'm not going to use. And
it's also you admitting, like, I'm just going to eat all this.
that's the other thing, right? You want to like convince yourself that you're going to approach this
You're
with
not going to.
responsibility.
Yeah.
But you have no
Instead, you're like,
responsibility.
I'm eating all of these tortilla chips right now.
I have no responsibility whatsoever. So yeah, I'm gonna say number one is sour cream and onion. But if I find a really good, I don't think I found a new good sour. Sorry, salt and vinegar is my number one. If I haven't found a really good sour cream and onion lately that I've liked. So again, the Lay's I think has become disgusting.
I agree.
So
That's why I usually do plain chips and then like French onion dip if I'm doing potato chips, and if I'm getting, other types of chips, either I'll get salsa.
what was that enormous pause while you were trying to figure out how to talk about chips?
I couldn't think of something. I don't know. But
Did you
I
have a
would get
stroke in the middle of
or
talking?
like queso dip. I'll get.
I don't like getting, ever since I started going to Texas regularly, which I don't do anymore, but I did for a while, I kind of can't do the jarred queso anymore. It's just not good. And also it needs to be hot is the other thing. Like, it's so different when it's hot, and I'm not going to heat up the queso to eat on my couch. Like, I go to a restaurant, I'll get queso at a restaurant. But I just kind of, I like to get a good salsa. I like to get a good like garlic salsa or something like that. That's what I like. Salsa has lower calories too. The thing with that French onion dip, which is by the way great. Like, it's the king of the dips.
Yeah.
Bean dip too is also king of the dips.
Bean dip's great. Yeah.
But the French onion, man, that shit is like a bomb of calories.
Oh yeah, it's all
Because it's like mayonnaise and shit. Like, it's real good though.
delicious. That's how it goes. Charles says, in honor of talented artists who got laid off, which MCU costume do you think is a landmark achievement in bringing comic book costumes to life? I'm very partial to Mysterio just because of the commitment to the fishbowl head. Cap's costume by the time Endgame comes, is also unreal because it has the chainmail motif.
You go first.
I'm gonna be real fucking basic. Iron Man. I mean, they just fucking nailed Iron Man right out of the gate.
Yeah.
And you see it, it's like, that's Iron Man. Like, it's hard to beat that. The last time they got that correct was, the Christopher Reeve Superman.
Yeah, I mean, it is pretty terrific. It is pretty terrific. I have to admit that. And they've really hit a bunch of the different versions too nicely.
Yeah.
They've done a pretty good job hitting different versions. They haven't done the roller skating one, I don't think, right?
I don't believe they've had him have roller skates. No.
But like that one, I think has like the pointy top on the head and stuff, which I like quite a bit.
Yeah.
I don't think they've done that one. They did do the Silver Centurion. Yeah, they've done a bunch of them. Yeah, they've done really well with the Iron Mans. In fact, so well that we just take it for granted, kind of.
Yeah, I agree.
My answer to this is going to be either Ms. Marvel, who I think took a very comic booky costume and translated it in a way that I think looks like the comic book costume, that I think has the colors right. I think it has the symbol right. Like, I think all those pieces really work.
Then she wore it for like 5 minutes, and then
different one. So it is. And then also, I'm going to say that the Batman costume from The Batman. And I think the big thing there is the neck, I think, which It's not a classic Batman look, but it does feel like when somebody comes on and does like a really stylized Batman, it feels like it's directly from that. You know what I mean? Like
It works.
yeah, it really works. And it's interesting because Batman's kind of a boring costume at this point. We've seen it so many times, but I really do think that neck really makes a huge difference to me. And I think they also did a really good job with the little things on the forearm too, I think, on that particular costume.
He's got the little like darts.
Yeah, I think they did a really good job. But again, I just keep coming back to that neck. It just really, the way that they make the cowl work, I think that nobody's ever made work that way. That it really does feel like, who do you think did the cowl that way? Not counting Batman 66.
But that's what they based it on. That is. I mean, he's wearing the Batman 66 cowl.
Yeah, but I mean, like, but yeah, I guess.
He is.
Yeah. I know, but
they admit it. They're like, yeah, it's the Batman 66 cowl.
But the thing is, the Batman 66 cowl, I like that Batman costume obviously quite a bit. The problem is that, and this I think is on purpose to some extent, is it does look like a guy who's going to show up at your party playing Batman. Like there is that element to it, you know what I mean? And that's probably almost certainly on purpose. They're leaning into the fact that a guy in tights.
Yeah, they could have given him a muscle suit under it, but they chose not to.
Yeah, they chose not to. Yeah, I mean, I guess, but I just think that I'm like really kind of a simp for the Batman. Like that movie, I truly am a sucker for. I don't know why that's the one that did it for me, but that's the one that did it for me, big time.
Probably because, like you, he likes Nirvana and writes in a journal.
I don't write in a journal. I'm supposed to journal.
You did when you were a kid.
I did. I found some of these really embarrassing journals in my closet, like real embarrassing. I should probably publish some of this stuff someday. Yeah, like it's real bad. Like it's like pretty cringe-tastic. Like poetry and shit. Yeah, like real. Oh yeah. No, really bad.
Yep, that's really, why you like the Batman.
I do like the emo Batman. What am I going to say? All right. If people want to have their questions answered, where can they send the questions?
They can send them to ask.cinema.sanga@gmail.com. And then in the subject line, put what show you want it for, Bad Batch or Across the Omniverse. One question or comment per email, please. Thank you.
All right. You ready to talk about the next episode of Daredevil Born Again Season 2?
Devil.
What?
The devil.
You ready?
Yep.
All right. Here we go. Daredevil Born Again Season 2 Episode 7, The Hateful Darkness. Yeah, no, it's off to a bad start.
I mean, that is the most comic book title for an episode of all time. I got to give him a lot of credit for that.
Yeah. So we open with the Kingpin getting dressed, and he discovers that one of Vanessa's earrings has gone missing, which we saw taken by Heather Glenn last episode. And he's putting on his outfit, and he's going down to see Karen. Karen, we see her get booked. She gets the full booking. They put the flashlight in her mouth. They strip her down. I'm assuming they hose her down, all that shit, and they throw her in a jail cell. And then the Kingpin comes to be a pain in the ass to her. And he's like, so they did this all for love? Which is like, bro, like, look who's talking.
He gives the same laugh that Worf's son gives on Star Trek Next Generation.
She's like, hey, I've never seen you like this before. You're scared right now. Like, you're afraid. I can tell that you're afraid. And he gets pretty mad, and he starts choking her through the bars. And he's like, I'm not afraid. I'm restoring order. And he's like thinking about killing her, but I think he realizes it's too complicated. And so he just drops her down to the ground. He goes, you got one phone call. Use it wisely. And
she says, you're not restoring order. You've lost control. Last night proved it.
Yes.
Like, I did.
Yeah. I mean, like, New York City's had riots before.
It's a riot that started after, according to the police, a cop was shot in the head.
Yeah.
Like, on the scene, not like just somewhere randomly. Like, he was shot in the head there, and that's when they went into the riot, into the crowd. Like, I think people would be like, oh, well.
One of the things about this show this season is it's painting in very broad strokes. Like, don't try to get too nitty gritty into how any of this stuff works. It's all vibes. It's like super vibes based. Which also, by the way, is very comic booky. Do you know what I mean? Sure. Like, you would have an establishing panel and Stanley would say, the streets are teeming with unrest. And then, like, you know, you would have that panel and that would be it. But the thing is, I think it works better in a comic book than it does here. It does feel too, like, the strokes are too broad.
Yes.
I think. And I would like a little bit more specificity on some of this. That's good drama, and this show is a drama show. Yeah. So I would like more of that. We cut after the credits to Mr. Charles, who I guess has been jerking off to an airline magazine.
Apparently. Yeah. Using it out afterwards.
He is woken up by Jessica Jones. She's sitting at his bedside. And she's pretty mad because he sent those guys to her house to kill her and her kid. And he's like, no, they were just supposed to tell you to, like, stay away. And she's like, you know better than to do this shit to me and my kid. And he's like, don't kill me. And she's like, well, maybe I will. And then he's like, well, can you? Because I've heard that your powers don't really work anymore. And she kind of changes the subject to talk about Luke. She's like, where's Luke?
He says, this is one of my favorite TV things, but it's always terrible, is he says, don't forget, I'm the only one who can connect you with Luke. And then she looks shocked, as if like, my God, I did forget that you're the only one who can connect me to Luke.
Hold on,
this show does an amazing job of spending 3 minutes telling us stuff that happened in the last 2 episodes, but not bothering to explain who characters are that have not appeared in this version of the series. It's very interesting.
It's very interesting. And, I was reading the Reddit conversation about this episode this morning, and a number of people said, the problem with this season is that all of the scenes need to go on longer, like in the Netflix show. And I'm like, wait, you liked that about the Netflix show, that the scenes never ended? Like, they did. They liked it, these endless scenes that never ended, and people just talking about stuff they just talked about.
I do wonder if part of that, though, is what we've discussed before, where it's clear that a lot of these scenes don't have any energy to them, so they're cutting back and forth between scenes.
Yeah.
And that's what somebody online is seeing and being like, no, they're not letting these scenes play to build up tension. And it's just the fact that they did not film them with tension.
I just feel like the Netflix show scenes didn't have tension. They felt like really boring slogs.
I don't disagree. But people, I think with the Netflix show, some of the people that like that show mistake everyone whispering for tension. Is that what that show was?
I mean, the thing is, I do think that one of the reasons why I like this version better than the Netflix show is because the scenes are shorter. I mean, I honestly think that's goes a very long way with because at least it feels watchable, even if I don't think the episodes are good per se. It's watchable. Like the scenes.
I suppose I know within 40 seconds I'll be out of a scene I'm not enjoying.
Oh man, it's true though. So he basically says, I'm the only one that knows where Luke is, and she's like, where is he? He goes, currently overseas working a job so that you don't have to. And then she's like, you're the one who was doing the arms deal. And Mr. Charles is like, hey, the deal's dead because all the weapons are destroyed, and I'm done with fucking Fisk. And in fact, I'm no longer helping him. I'm doing actually the opposite. And he tells her that Fisk is in trouble with the governor. The governor is going to try to remove Fisk and maybe get rid of the Freeport. And he's like, you know what? Like, the governor's going to go for Fisk. I don't think that she can do it, and I don't think that you can do anything against him either. Like, I don't think that this is, that this is going to be a good for anybody. So she goes and tells all this to Matt. They stand on a rooftop. She recognizes they spend a lot of time on rooftops here.
This made me laugh too. They're talking for like 2 minutes, then she goes, we're on another rooftop. Like, have you just realized that, Jessica? Did it just occur to you? We're on a rooftop.
So she drops all this information, and they talk about the kid a little bit. I mean, again, making it pretty clear that Matt's met the kid. And then she's like, well, why are we on this fucking rooftop again? He goes, well, we're meeting a friend up here, and it's Cherry. Yeah. So Cherry's back. We haven't seen Cherry in a minute. And
How long ago do you think he had his heart attack?
I mean, like, the thing is, at this point, it might have been 6 months. I mean, like, it's
It
like
might have been
really
6 months. It might have been 2 years. It might have been 4 days.
a week and a half. Yeah, I mean, like, it's like really time.
It's hard to say.
Yeah, because like it seems like a couple of days pass, and yet Daniel still has BB at his mom's house.
Daniel still has the BB at his mom's house. I do not believe that Karen has been missing for more than like half a day before Matt is like, we have to find out what happened to Karen. like, there's no way. There's no way. So when Jerry comes up and says this is where she is, I think she was booked at night, and now it's the morning.
This is the next morning, yeah.
Yeah, so no time has passed. It's been roughly 72 hours since Vanessa died, is what I would say at this point.
I mean, yeah, it's like hard to say because like in the real world, this would probably be a week or more later, but because they put her in the ground 6 hours after she died.
Fastest burial possible.
Oh man, I really this episode really hit a point where I was like, you know what, I can no longer worry about what time means anymore. I just cannot worry about it. Like it doesn't track, it doesn't work. Scenes cut within the same time zone to night and then back to day, and I don't understand. And again, I'm just my takeaway is, you know what, the show is not presenting this linearly to me, and it's presenting it in a way that the creators feel like it'll be the most interesting, as opposed to worrying about let's have all this Daniel BB stuff happen before the rest of it. You know what I mean? Like that's like my take. I do wish they were doing a better job of that feeling, like giving me a sense that we are jumping around in time. I don't think we are, by the way. I think they're just not doing a good job with any of this writing.
I agree. Yeah.
But, you know, I want to, you know.
They're definitely not doing a good job.
So Cherry knows where Karen is, and Matt's like, we got to bust her out. And he goes, no, but actually the problem is she's really booked, like for real. Like she's actually in custody. She's not just been kidnapped. And
he's like, if you do that, it'll make you the bad guy. Like, Karen just told us that the whole city is against Fisk and the AVTF. So why would he be the bad guy for breaking out somebody that the AVTF arrested? None of this is flowing.
Good question. I don't disagree. Again, it's like vibes based. Do you know what I mean? Like a lot of the plot is just vibes. It's like the vibes of you breaking her out would be wrong. Like the optics are bad. But it's not. It's wishy washy, right? Matt's concerned because he knows that she's not safe in prison, and Cherry's like, I got a guy that's in the precinct, so he'll be watching over her, and I can try to figure it out. And Jessica's like, okay, I've done my guest spot. I got to get out of here. I got a kid to look at. And she says, hey, by the way, Matt, before I leave, why don't you just fucking kill the Kingpin?
to look after, not to look at. I don't think she stares at her kid.
Who's watching that kid? I would like to know who's babysitting for that kid.
That's a good question. I imagine like a neighbor or something.
Yeah, but I want to know. Like, I want to know. Yeah. Not look at her kid. Look after her kid. And then she says, why aren't you fucking killing Kingpin already, bro? And he's like, whoa, it's not what we do. Inside Frank's apartment, Bullseye gets let free by Daredevil. His one of two moments in this episode where he wears a costume, but I don't mind it because he spent the entire last episode or two in a costume.
Yeah, it didn't bother me.
So I'm like okay with it. He lets Bullseye go, and he's like, okay, so here's the deal. You want her to do a good thing to balance the scales for killing Foggy. And he's like, I'm going to give you that opportunity. He's like, I really fucking hate you, by the way. Like, I hate your guts because what you did to Foggy, what you did to Father Lantham in the previous series, and other people that you've killed too. I want to fucking kill you, but I also want to forgive you because that's what those people would want me to do. And he doesn't make it religious here, which he really should. It's a pretty good time for him to be religious about it, but
yeah.
He's like, listen, you can fuck off afterwards, but like, you got to do one thing for me, and then we'll be square. And Bullseye's like, well, I can't promise, but let me know what you need, and we will only find that out later in the episode.
He's like, you know how nobody guards the governor's mansion?
Well, here's the thing. I mean, nobody does. Like, there's just like a couple of cops. It's not like there's
got to be at least a fucking gate.
Yeah, I'm sure there's a gate. I mean, so here's the deal. I don't think the governor's mansion is on a big piece of land like that.
No.
But in that version where it's on a big piece of land like that, there's definitely a gate down that road.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's 100% the case. whatever. I mean, look, later on in this episode, when Karen goes on trial, she goes on trial in the Brooklyn Public Library. So I'm not really worried about it. She really does. That was my local branch. It's a beautiful branch. And it's right at Grand Army Plaza, and you can see Grand Army Plaza in the background. There's a really great arch in the background. Yeah. I mean, whatever. I'm not going to sweat about. And also, by the way, it's like a Kingpin, Assassin, and Bullseye. Both these guys can get in. I don't mind that. I have no problem with those guys getting in. In fact, I have so much of not a problem. I would feel like we were wasting our time if we had to watch them get in.
Yeah.
Because it's just obvious they're gonna.
Yeah.
In prison, Karen gets visited by a guy that the show is insisting that you know who he is.
Literally, my note is, I guess this guy's from the Netflix show.
He is indeed from the Netflix show. He's from a bunch of the Netflix shows. He appeared in Daredevil, Jessica Jones, and Punisher.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, he's a pretty significant, he was in a bunch of fucking Daredevil episodes too. So he's a pretty significant character back then. But they don't reintroduce him that well, I don't think.
Yeah.
I
had no idea who he was, and I didn't watch the previously on. I skipped the previously on, so maybe they covered it in there. I don't know.
Oh yeah, I skipped that too. I will say that somebody this week was saying that a big problem with this show is that the season 1, that what they rewrote is that they rewrote that the original version of season 1 was going to be a soft reboot. Yeah. And that they made it much more connected to the original. This cat's back, by the way. This cat runs the house, and he only does this during recordings. He only does it during recordings.
It's like that Perry Bible Fellowship bit where it's the castle, and the cat's at the castle gate, and he's scratching. And they have to do all the work to lower the gate, and the cat comes in, they bring it back up, and the cat goes up to the gate and starts scratching to go back out.
That's exactly what it's like with this fucking cat, man. Yeah. All right, so we got Brett Mahoney's the guy's name, and she's really excited to see him, and he's gonna transfer her to a precinct, to his precinct. He got her transferred to his spot. That's how she ended up there. This is the best place for her to be, and I don't think you can do this, but he gets her outside, and
I just seems to sneak her outside.
Yeah, no, 100%. He does that, and I just feel like that can't be done. I just feel like
imagine not. But...
Yeah, I just feel like it's not reasonable. I think it'd be easier to get Daredevil in. To be very honest with you,
I think I'm trying to remember now if her cell had a window.
No, that's not cinematic. Them talking through the window is not cinematic.
But no, like I don't know, you can do something with that. Maybe. But no,
I think that he should have snuck in. I think that would have been much better.
Yeah,
but
the bench or whatever. Yeah.
Brett sneaks her out into the alleyway. They hug. She calls him Matt, so I guess this guy knows who Daredevil is now.
Hey, maybe he knows from the Netflix shows. I don't fucking know.
He might. Actually, I have no clue. They're like, so sorry. She's like, I'm sorry I got captured. I'm sorry I wasn't there for you. And then she goes, well, I can't leave with you. And I like this part because Matt goes, oh, I didn't come here to save you. I quite like that. And she's like, listen, Kingpin's lost his fucking mind. He's really on the brink. And Matt's like, well, what he's really losing is his grip on the city. So that's the thing. That's why he's going after you so hard. He wants to get me out, and he wants to make this on TV. And Matt's like, I think we're going to have to do stuff that I don't want to do to fucking finish this off. Yeah. And then she goes back in.
Is he going after me any harder than he did, The Swordsman? Because that was on TV, too, and it was the same setup. I don't know.
I mean, to be fair, the Swordsman was in a cage in a warehouse.
So he was going even harder on him. Yeah.
No, but I'm saying that's inherently illegal. He was being illegally held. That's not a legal place to hold people. He should have just been in a jail. Do you know what I mean?
But he's going harder on you, and it's no, he's not, because he's got his little, tribunal that is just going to stamp away guilty verdicts.
Well, the thing
But
is,
he
is
didn't put her
that
in a cage and torture her.
I mean that's true. The thing is that when the next scene is we have the DA meeting with the Kingpin, and the Kingpin's like fucking throw the book at her. Like I want her every fucking possible. Like did she spit on the sidewalk? Like get all of it. And the DA is like, well, here's the problem. Like I think that the Attorney General for the state is going to want to get involved in this because this is getting pretty heavy right now. And Kingpin does not fucking care. And Heather Glenn shows up, and he basically the DA is like, hey, can you talk to Karen? We could use your expertise. And she sits down with Kingpin after the DA leaves, and she's like, how you doing? And he goes, nobody's asked me that. Which, I get it, because you're fucking scary, bro. He's like, I'm so alone. I thought that I was happy to have love as a prison, but now it's a prison that I am in by myself. And she's like, I'm here as a friend or whatever, person to person. And he's like, I really appreciate what you do. And he goes, oh, by the way, what do you think of this earring? And she's like, ooh, yeah, so sorry about that, but I just kind of did it. I don't know why I even did it. And he's like, you know what? I'm okay with it. Don't apologize. I think it's really interesting when people act on impulse, like people who do things that you would never imagine they would do in the moment, make the choice to do something crazy. And he's like, he gives her the earring. So he's like, now you got both of them. That's what's happening there. Karen's trial begins. Again, it's the Brooklyn Public Library.
Well, first we go to Daniel's mom's house.
No, first we get them going into the library, and then we go back to Daniel's mom's house, and then we come back. So, yeah, because we see the protesters that are outside, and I think they're on her side, right? That's the deal?
I think so.
They're like, fuck you, Fisk stuff.
Yeah.
So Kirsten is obviously her lawyer. On Staten Island, Daniel may have been keeping BB there for weeks.
At least 2 days.
Well, it has to be, right? Because
she was there the night of the riot.
Then the next morning, Daredevil gets information. Then he goes to her at night.
Yeah.
And
so it's been 2 days, and she's like, "Hey, you held me captive."
But I think it might even be longer than that. I mean, obviously these tribunals are operating in a largely weird way, in that they're probably going a lot faster than a real trial would. But I feel like at least it would take 2 days to get on trial. What do I know? I don't know.
I have no idea.
Here's the thing. So this is the scene where I really turned on BB in a pretty significant way.
Yeah.
Which is like, she's like, why are you keeping me here? And then she's mad at him for taking her thing, and she says to him, Fisk killed my uncle, but she does not seem to have really taken in the enormity of that. Do you know what I mean? Like, she doesn't seem to understand, like, why he's holding her there, and like why Buck calling is like a big deal. And she's like,
she does not figure it out until they get to the house, until like they get to that apartment, and then she's like, hold on a minute.
Yeah, it's like, you're a fucking journalist and you don't realize that you know that the Kingpin killed your uncle. You think that he's somehow not going to kill you?
Yeah.
The internet girl? But like, she has no vision of it, and it drives me nuts because like, she's just giving Daniel a hard time. And I really have spent like a day interrogating my own internalized misogyny, right?
Yeah.
I'm like, is it because I like Daniel and she's like being difficult with Daniel? But I don't think that's it. I really do think that it's because she should 100% know the immense danger that she is in and that she has put him in. And she seems really blasé about it.
I mean, in fairness, he has put himself in.
No, I know, but like he told her, don't tell anybody this information, and she fucking put it on television. And
no,
I think
she didn't.
No, she told somebody else, didn't she?
No, she deleted that text before she sent it.
No. The previous one with the hospital. Not with him dropping out of the race.
I
mean,
we discussed that too. Is like the hospital one.
The show did not make us. Yeah. The thing is, the show did not follow up on that in a way that would make us think that she did not do it.
Yeah.
The show actually made us think that she did because she was so ready to send that text.
That is the idea.
Yeah.
Is that she sent it. Yeah.
She put him in like mortal danger, and she's now in mortal danger, and she's just like so blasé about it. Like it just doesn't occur to her.
She's mainly annoyed that he won't let her have her phone.
Yeah, like it's like, come on, like give me a break. Like I mean, that is annoying. Like I get it. Like, but like
he's 2 days on Long Island without a phone. My God.
Staten Island.
Staten Island, even worse.
Even worse.
My God.
Yeah. So he won't give her back her phone, but then he does text Buck. He texts him an address, and but again, this is the moment where I was like, BB, I'm just done. I'm like done with BB because she has no sense of self-preservation at all.
She does not.
So Buck gets the text, and he's with Kingpin, and he's like, "Oh, Daniel's actually fucking coming through," and Kingpin's like, "I always knew he would," and they're watching the trial start on TV, and Kingpin's like, she's going to draw out the bigger fish that we really care about.
He says, "Do you think Karen Page knows she's doing the most obvious thing ever?" Like, he says, also feel like, "Oh my God, this is part of his grand scheme." Like, no.
But I actually like the metaphor that he uses here, which is the soldier screaming on the battlefield.
Yes,
to draw out the. I like that's a good metaphor. Like I like that. And again, I think if people on Reddit are concerned that the scenes aren't going on long enough and don't contain enough whispering, perhaps the show needs to actually explain to people these things. I don't know.
Yeah.
So we have the opening statements. I quite like how they did the opening statements, where they cut back and forth between them. This actually might lend a little bit of credence to the question of, is this show actually nonlinear? Is this show being told like a Quentin Tarantino movie? Maybe.
Perhaps.
I don't think Kirsten's argument's strong. She's like, what is a vigilante anyway?
Her argument is fucking terrible.
Really not good.
Her argument is like, oh, suddenly you can't take the law into your own hands?
Yeah. So the whole room is packed. Everybody's there for this.
Including Jerry, who, by the way, don't forget, had a heart attack somewhere between 6 months and 2 days ago and had to go into hiding because they were going to murder him. And now he's just sitting in the fucking courtroom.
Well, I mean, it's not like the entire AVTF is there or anything, right?
Just half of them.
Kirsten is like, hey, so here's the deal. I need to let me have a co-counsel. And the door opens, and everybody's shocked because in comes Matthew Murdock for the defense.
There's one person who's not shocked.
Who's that?
Whoever is doing the Chiron for the news, because it is instantly up there. They had that ready to go.
So, you know what? I think I like this turn of events.
It's obvious what's going to happen, but I like the dramatic way they do it. It's
I like
dramatic. It's very fun. Yeah,
I like it quite a bit. I do. My one problem is that the show has no time for anybody to discuss, like, what does it mean that he's been missing for 6 months? They say he's been missing for 6 months, by the way. So that at least gives us some time that we know that 6 months have passed since the end of season one. So, but like, I would like a little bit more understanding of like how does him being a disappeared person impact his law license? You know what I mean? Like,
keep in mind, nobody knew he disappeared until like a week ago. That's when they started the whole thing of like, maybe we should be looking for Matt Murdock and put out Fisk did the video and whatnot. Like, nobody fucking knew.
Fisk is watching on TV and he's shocked. I think he thought that Daredevil was going to show up. He didn't expect Matt to pop into the room. We get Matt doing a cross-examination of evil cop Powell, and they're going like head to head. Like Powell, I think Powell is definitely potentially in contempt of court a couple of times here. And then we have Kirsten questioning Cole North, and she actually gets him a little bit, which is like, so you know, how'd you get face get so fucked up, bro? And he's like, well, last season I was at Matt Murdock's apartment when it blew up. And she's like, well, why were you at Matt Murdock's apartment when it blew up? He said, well, I was there doing a welfare check. And she goes, you doing a welfare check with 2 heavy-duty all-terrain vehicles and a squad of guys heavily armed, like for a blind lawyer? And then she goes, so, by the way, before I'm done here, who ordered you to go do that? And also she asked about Karen. Like she gets about Karen. Like was Karen even involved in this? And he's like, well, she drove the getaway car.
Yeah.
And so he heard it. Well, who told you? Is it the same person who told you to kill Hector Ayala? And was it Mayor Fisk? And that is a big deal.
Yes.
And
come out.
So upstate, Lily Taylor's on the phone, and she's talking to the Attorney General, and she says, "Okay, we got to fucking get this suspension going. We got to end Fisk. We got to do it now. We have a limited time to get this done."
This was my favorite scene of the episode.
Yeah?
Yeah. Because this is a scene where the sound just slowly fades out and the camera pulls away, as if as they were filming, they were like, "Let's get out of here. This sucks." This is so boring. Let's go. Let's just leave.
Oh,
it was the weirdest way to do a scene. Why does the sound fade out and it, like the camera just keeps pulling away? I was like I'm watching. I'm like, oh, is she gonna get assassinated right now? Nope. Just cut to something else. Just like, what the fuck?
Oh, that's really funny. Yeah, that's really funny. Daniel takes BB to which he says is the safe house, and she realizes it's not, and he basically tells her that he buried a body, and he drags her out of the car and starts dragging her to the apartment, and then she's like, "Is this really who you are, man? Like, is this like you're a good man? I know you're a good man." And he's like, "Fuck, you're right." And he gives her his phone. He's like, "Quick, let's get away from before Buck sees us," which I feel like he probably already would have, but like I'll allow it.
Whatever. Yeah.
And he takes her down the block. He's like, "Run, hide, don't tell me where you're going. Never let me know, and I'm gonna go talk to Buck." And basically, he's like, he knows he's gonna die because he goes,
Yeah.
make this worth it. She earn this. She runs off. Back at the court, Matt and team get ambushed by the AVTF, who are wearing their uniforms while they open machine gun fire on cops.
Driving a police vehicle and like, let's just shoot them in the parking lot of the underground garage of the courthouse.
Yeah.
Fucking what?
Yeah. I mean, it's really weird. I gotta say, like, I kind of don't understand. Like, I guess
and they kill a couple of cops at the same time.
I mean, we know the cops don't like the AVTF, so I'm assuming that's going to play into the finale, which is next week, I guess.
Maybe.
But it's like, I was like, this is crazy. Like, they're like not even hiding who they are. And I wonder if the argument, like, behind the scenes was like, we need the audience to know this is the AVTF.
Yeah.
We can't make them think this is some other group. They have to know. But like, I just think it was really weird. There's like a fucking cop hanging out of the fucking car with a machine gun with his AVTF patch on his shoulder. Yeah. And I'm like, they probably have cameras in the fucking courthouse garage, man.
Yeah.
Like they probably do. The Brooklyn Public Library does not have a garage, so this is not actually connected to the Brooklyn Public Library.
Okay. This is another really good scene, by the way, because they get into this gunfight. Matt gets shot in the leg, and then he throws his billy club, and it like locks the steering wheel, and the car crashes. The AVTF car crashes.
Yeah,
and then Matt walks away, and that's the end of the scene. And later on, we see that Matt's at the church, and he's bleeding out, and it's like, did Cherry and McDuffie just be like, yeah, we'll just let him walk away? Like, what the fuck? Like,
no, didn't he throw her in a car and say, get the fuck out of here?
No, because Cherry and stuff, they're still there, aren't they? I think they're still there.
Are they?
Yeah, because they were shooting at the cops and stuff.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, maybe. I mean, I guess it looked pretty cool for him to walk away. I think that's probably why they...
It looked very cool, but then I was like, wait a minute. He then just walked out of the garage, went to the church?
Up in Albany, the governor gets attacked by the assassin. He garrots her. He puts his garrote around her neck. He's choking her out. Goes on for a long time, frankly. Bullseye really took his time doing this.
He wanted her to really think about it.
And he puts a knife in the guy, but he doesn't kill him. I was kind of curious why. I guess maybe Matt said, like, don't kill him. They're going to need to interrogate him.
Or just prove to me that you're different now. That kind of thing.
Maybe. I don't know. I mean,
because it seems like even though I don't know, even though we saw him in the diner just murder the hell out of people, but like it seems like the whole point of Bullseye's story in this is a redemption story. And so part of that would be no more killing.
But it's a weird redemption story. We don't get the sense he won't kill anymore. That's the thing. Yeah. He's just not going to kill the wrong people anymore. Yeah. And this guy feels like a guy who deserves killing, like in his general sense of things.
And it can't be for interrogation because he does put a knife in the guy's head. So he's messed with his brain. That's not going to work out well.
I don't know.
But the guy is still alive.
He is live and twitching. I do like, though, that Bullseye gives Lily Taylor a little bit of a salute.
Yes, I do like that.
I did like that quite a bit. And then he fucks off, and we see him walking away from the mansion, and I'm assuming he's out of the show now, is my take on that. Daniel goes to meet Buck. It's an abandoned apartment. It's an empty apartment. Buck's like, hey, so where's BB? And Daniel's like, she's not coming. And Buck is like, tell me where, tell me where.
I think she had a birthday party.
She had a birthday party or something. Yeah.
I like that.
Buck's like, tell me where she is, and Daniel will not. Daniel is like standing up to Buck, and then Buck headbutts him, and then beats the shit out of him.
Yes.
Just beats the shit out of him. There's a scene here that I think is also not in the correct order of things. Because it's Karen and Heather. Like, why would this be happening after the first day of the trial? And why does Karen not know that there was a fucking gunfight in the garage?
No clue.
I feel like that's the news. You know what I mean? I feel like that
she's in jail. Is she getting to watch the news?
You hear stuff. You know what I mean? Like you hear stuff. I don't know. It just seems weird to me. Like, this feels like 100% a scene that should have happened
before the trial.
Before the trial, yeah. And again, like, this show, the way that the show is structured is just all over the fucking place. So
yeah.
Karen's like, listen, I'm not going to do this fucking psychological evaluation. I know you work for Kingpin. And also, I know that this is the Wisconsin multiphasic, so I know how to win this one. Like, you can't even begin to get me to tell you about my appreciation of mechanics magazines. And she's like, why don't you try something else? And how about this? What if I tell you about this guy I'm seeing who is like real mysterious and has like really intense, and he won't let me in. And sometimes I'm laying in bed next to him and I don't even know if I know this guy, but you know what? It's really hot. And she's like, you ever meet a guy like that? And Heather gets pretty upset. And I like this a lot. I got to say. I like it quite a bit, and that's when Heather's like, all right, you want to fucking play that game? She turns off the tape recorder and she's like, I mean, like, I don't know, is this about you killing your brother and about you killing Wesley, or is it about you fucking Frank Castle? And they like go back and forth, and like Karen is pretty shook. And Karen's like, did you know that Vanessa had Foggy killed? Did you know that your buddy Vanessa was actually behind that? And then she's like, hey, did you go work with the Fisks because Matt dumped you? Oh, I'm sorry. Is that too much? And then Heather slaps Karen in the face. They could have played that harder.
Yeah, they also could have done a second take when she goes to grab Karen's face and misses, and then has to put her hand back up.
They were really in a rush.
I was like, can you not get another shot? Because that looked kind of, or did you do that on purpose for some reason? Like,
maybe because she's like unhinged. She's having these muse visions again.
Yeah.
She says,
which
don't
I
pity
did like
me.
that. There's the one shot where you see Heather, and behind her to the side is Muse, and he's out of focus. That was a very good shot.
Yeah. Heather's like, don't pity me, and Karen's like, oh, too late, I already do. And after she hits her again, Karen laughs at her face, and Heather's like, we're done here. Back at the apartment, Buck is beating Daniel very badly, and he's a real mess. And Buck is like, fine, I got to do what I got to do. He puts on his gloves and pulls out his gun, and he's pointing the gun at Daniel on the floor. Daniel's all beat up and bloody, and Daniel's like, is this really what you want to do with your life? Like, do you really think that you're like actually protected?
He
like,
says, how long before you're on the floor with a gun pointed at you?
And Buck is like, you know what? I kind of see where you're getting from.
Yeah.
And then we get like a little bit of a cut around thing. Karen goes back to the cell. Kingpin's at home. He's like, it's like a sad montage here.
Yes.
Very Netflix vibe in this sad montage.
Mad World should be playing over there.
Yes. And we get we get Matt going to the church, and he's praying. He's praying to St. Jude, the patron saint of lost causes. Yes. And he's bleeding out there, and we then see that there's a line.
I do like he says hard to win cases, which I mean, it's the same thing, but I just like he puts it in lawyer terms.
Yeah, I like that. I like that quite a bit. But I also think that's like, it's kind of funny because I think if you say lost causes, I don't know how that reads to an audience that doesn't understand who St. Jude is.
Yeah.
So he's just praying, and he's like, please, God, just send me some help. I need some fucking help. And Jessica Jones shows up. She follows the blood trail down the aisle. And she's like, okay, I guess I'm not out of the show just yet. And
it's weird that she gets a second clapping introduction because like the door opens and it's just her boots. So that like the audience can be like, oh my God, it's Jessica Jones. But she was in their episode earlier and she was already introduced the episode before. Like,
I know.
It's so weird.
Well, I think it's one of those like, oh, it's like Han Solo returning in Star Wars. I think that's what they're trying to get here. You know? Like Han Solo coming back to knock Darth Vader away.
Yeah, but I mean, I guess. But Han Solo, it works better because Darth Vader gets hit and goes, what? And then we see the Millennium Falcon. And that moves a little quicker.
I mean, I will say that I did believe she was out of the show.
I did not, only because they kept showing the scene in the trailers. So I was like,
oh, did they? Oh, I hadn't seen that. I don't remember that. Okay, so I did think that she was out of the show because I was like, you know what? This show is so poorly written. I 100% buy that she just came in for like 13 minutes and left. Like I totally buy it. Like,
yeah.
But you know, she's back. She's gonna help after all. And then we cut back to the apartment, and Buck shoots Daniel in the head.
Kind of.
What do you mean, kind of?
Well, that's the bit that we got to discuss, isn't it?
I mean, he does.
But he didn't.
What do you mean he didn't?
That's not what they originally filmed. That's what I'm saying.
He does. He does.
Yes.
He does. He does shoot him. Like
yeah,
I mean, I know they shot
into the thing that we had previously set up.
I know, but like we're going to talk about it. You can't be like, well, actually, in the infinite multiverse, there are worlds where he didn't. Like, no, he did.
I was going to say, well, actually, the reason it looks so awkwardly strange is because he didn't, and they had to CG in stuff to make.
Is that what they did? They CG'd it in?
Yes, they didn't refilm it. They CG'd it. Yeah.
Oh, I thought they shot two different versions.
Nope.
Wait, so what were they?
Here's the quote. Here's the quote from Gandolfini. Buck pulls the gun on me, holds it on me, and then ends up putting it down and walking away. And we have some dialogue. And so what they added was that gunshot flare, and they added some blood with me on the floor. I ended up calling Artie and telling him, you know, you killed me. And he was like, what? What do you mean? And I was like, yeah, I'm dead. He was so distraught. He was so upset, but it just felt right. So they did not film it, which is why it looks weird when he gets shot and he doesn't move. There's no movement to him. And
I mean, I wouldn't expect. Here's the thing: I've watched a lot of people die on the internet, and they kind of it's really
yes, but on TV they move, you know. And also, Buck's arm doesn't move. There's no recoil. There's no movement to any of it. It's flat because they faked it. They had to CG it all.
That's very interesting. You know what? It's very interesting that they had originally had him live. I guess they had not written season 3, so they didn't know what they were going to do just yet. So they didn't have like a plan. But this made me wonder.
They were filming the next episode when they told him, like, we've decided to kill you off. So that means he was in the next fucking episode. There was going to be more with Daniel.
I wonder if he's dead.
We shot episode 8. And as we were going through, I was just shocked. I was so grateful to have this amazing arc, and then they decided to kill me.
I wonder if he's not dead.
I think he is dead, but I think that was clearly not the original plan because they shot episode 8 with him.
No, but I'm saying I wonder if their thought process here was that they're going to put a bullet in his head and make him seem dead. And he's one of those ones like he had a bullet in his brain, but he recovered, and then give him sort of a different.
Not for nothing, but that would fit into the Rose theory that I have.
Yeah, I mean, well, no, I think he's the Rose.
Yeah.
You didn't. You said you didn't think he was the Rose.
No, Daniel? I've always thought Daniel was the Rose.
What?
Yes, you thought Buck was the Rose.
I thought either one of them could be the Rose, but I originally thought Daniel.
I've always thought Daniel.
And I said because Daniel was a good one because he felt like he was Kingpin's son figure.
Yeah, no. That's what I said. This was my theory.
I don't know. Maybe it is. Somebody who listens to this program, let us know whose theory this was. Let us know who's wrong here.
Someone who listens to this program, let us know if we're actually talking about the show or not, because we don't remember a goddamn thing we say the second it stops recording.
I mean, it's a good. The thing is that the shooting him is the correct thing to have happen here. Like, I actually do agree with that. Like, dramatically,
don't agree because it's so poorly done.
Separate from how it's executed.
I mean, I'm just had to kill him.
Oh, you think so?
Yes.
No, I don't think so. I think that if we're moving Buck into a different storyline, I think having to kill this guy that he was friends with might be the thing that makes him turn on the Kingpin. Like, it might be the thing. I do think that Daniel convincing Buck not to do it is too pat. I think that Buck doing it and then feeling bad about it and that impacting how he moves forward makes a lot more sense in a realistic narrative.
Yeah. I don't disagree, but knowing that they shot episode 8 without that plan, I don't think that means Buck's thing is going to get paid off.
They probably just did reshoots, but who knows? I don't know.
They didn't, because he had to call him up and tell him, hey, they killed me.
So you think Buck's just out of the show now?
I imagine Buck is still in it, but they're just not going to mention the fact that he killed Daniel.
I mean, I would like
maybe
to...
he's not. Maybe he just walks away, which would be interesting as well, if that's the last we see of Buck in this season.
I mean, if that was the original ending too, like where he doesn't shoot Daniel and Buck just leaves town and Kingpin next episode, like, where the fuck is Buck? And everybody's like, we have no idea.
Yeah, everything's falling apart. His right-hand man is gone.
Yeah, I mean, that makes some sense too. But I do think that narratively, like in terms of that storyline and that arc, I think Daniel should have killed somebody to really earn this. I don't think burying a body is enough. I think he should have killed somebody, but at the same time, I think this is a really good, strong arc for that character, and I think it's a really good, tragic arc in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
But
again, I don't disagree with Gandolfini saying, like, we all agree that this should be how it ends.
Yeah. But I also am not convinced that he's dead. That's the other thing. Like, again, like, I've just too many comic book stories where somebody takes a bullet to the head, or soap operas or movies, and then they come back and things are different for them. They maybe have amnesia, or they have a personality change, or something like that. That's happened too many times. And Gandolfini's too good, and he's too, I think, appreciated by the fan base. Like, they did kill Foggy, and everybody's really fucking mad about that. So who knows?
Not me.
I know, but everybody's still talking about how much they want him back. And it's like, I'm glad that I was really worried. I mean, I guess there's still one more episode, but I was really worried that by now we were going to have Foggy back alive.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
I mean, there might be one more episode. It's possible because, again, Foggy did this storyline happen in the comics, and Foggy did fake his death. I think if Foggy's faking his death, Daniel can't come back. That's too many fake deaths.
Sure.
I mean, only J.J. Abrams gets to do that many fake deaths. In 15 minutes. But what'd you think of this episode?
Thought it was garbage. Thought it was very bad.
Garbage.
Don't like this show. Really have come to really not like this show, and all the time issues, the editing issues, and then reading this thing with Gandolfini that he wasn't supposed to be dead, and they decided to do it, and they just CG'd it in instead of reshooting or anything. All the things that we said with the first season, where it was like, look, they had to go back and like change stuff around, so that's why it's kind of messy. There's no excuse for that this time, and they're still doing it. So I think they just are not doing a good job making this show. I think that's what it comes down to, is they are not plotting it out well enough. They're not happy with their own scripts, it seems like, when they're filming, and I think it's bad. I think they've done a very bad job.
I don't agree with that part of it. I don't mind that, like, when they're shooting it, that they're finding things. That's totally okay. Like, I don't mind that they... But I'm saying killing him. I do wish that they had actually gone to the effort to actually fucking shoot the scene. But I'll tell you the truth, I didn't notice that it was CGI. I know
watching now, I was like, it all feels off. I was like, this feels very off. Something weird. I'm like, his head doesn't fall back. It just kind of pops back. It almost looks like it's just frame up, frame down. And like, his body doesn't move, and Buck's body doesn't move. Like, Buck doesn't have a reaction. It just felt off to me. And then I saw that it, in fact, was. So,
That's very interesting. But I mean, like, I think the problem is the show's just badly written, period. I don't think it's a matter of, like, the show is, like, cutting. It's just badly written. Like, the thing is, I think if you had, like, the beats, if you were in the writer's room and these beats are on the whiteboard, you go, all right, this is reasonable. They're not writing it well. They're not taking the structure that I think is reasonable, And then writing well. The dialogue in the show is unreal. Like the conversations the characters have are so fucking bad that they really do feel like how fans write scripts. Like it really has that vibe.
That they fade out the audio in the middle of a scene.
Yeah.
While the governor's talking.
Yeah. So like, you know, the again, like I think that the larger beats, and I think that the thing is that for me this season, the story's fine. I don't mind the story. It's just how it's being executed.
No, the concept I think is good. The concept is strong, but it's just none of it flows very well, and it everything about the way that it's edited together feels like they're not confident in what they did.
Right.
And they're trying to make it exciting or whatever, and it's just not working for me. I know a lot of people like it, but
well, a lot of people aren't watching it. The ratings are down 40% from last season.
Yeah.
So it's not hitting. People do not. I think. I mean, I don't really know 100% why, but like, I'm wondering if the Netflix people were just unhappy with it, or.
I would wait until it's done. I mean, there was something else that this happened with recently where they were like, "Oh, the second season, nobody watched it," and then when the season finished, like the next week, like the viewers went up like a whole bunch because people
waited to binge it,
finish and then binge it.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
So I would not jump on that just yet, but we'll see.
Yeah, that makes sense. But yeah, I mean, I thought this was like not a good episode, but at the very end of the day, I feel like this show is essentially watchable, which again, the Netflix show for me was not. I could not sit through a whole episode of the Netflix show, and
make sure that gets on the next trailer, guys. Essentially watchable. You can see it. It is available to be seen.
It is essentially watchable, like whatever. I don't feel like as crushed by the program as I did watching it on Netflix. Yeah. And so I'm gonna like give it like a little bit of a plus for that I can sit through it. Like if I had to sit through the original Netflix for like this podcast, I would be like in agony. This is like whatever. It's pretty okay.
I am going to put this out there right now. Obviously, depending, who knows? Maybe the next episode brings it all together in some amazing way. But at this moment, if Daredevil season 3 airs at the same time as another show that would fit this show, I would honestly fight against doing season 3. Like, I just don't. This just is not doing it for me.
Okay.
You know,
interesting.
Like it obviously won't be The Boys, but like if we're in the same situation where it's The Boys or Daredevil, looking at it as like how we should have done The Boys.
You know what's funny? I don't think there's that much to talk about with The Boys. I think one of my problems with The Boys, especially the last 2 seasons, is how much it is
repetitive.
Yeah, it's just like really repetitive, and like it's been a real problem for the last couple of years. Yeah, I mean,
I don't disagree, but I think The Boys at least has more of an interesting story to discuss, especially this season.
I just feel like the problem is that the story is the same every single episode. That's, I think, the problem that I have with the show. The story is the exact same. It's like, can we get the V1? We can't get the V1. We can get the V1. Can we make the virus? Oh, we can't make the virus. No, we can make the virus.
That's very true. That's very true.
And so I think it's funny. I actually think that like the difference between these 2 shows is that the sort of the overview of Daredevil season 2, I think is better than the overview of Boys season 5. I think that individual episodes of The Boys are better written and are more interesting than any individual episode of Daredevil. But I think that the problem with that show is just that, like, you have to kind of be okay with the fact that we're just going to be going in circles on a lot of stuff again and again and again and again.
Yeah.
And that we're going to like have a problem come up in episode 2, and then we're going to wrap it up in episode 3, and then episode 4, that problem's back again the exact same way. And as long as you're okay with that, because the writing is really good, the actual scenes themselves are well written, the effects are really good, it's funny.
The acting's good.
The acting's good, like everything's good. It's just that the actual sort of like beats of the season are kind of garbage, frankly. And and like I can't imagine binging The Boys. I feel like you would just be like, why is this going on again? Like, why are we once again making a virus? We just spent so much time making a virus. There's got to be a different way to push this off. So that's
at least Daredevil. I mean, I will give it so much that the plot has consistently. We are not repeating.
No, it's really essentially move forward. Yeah, I don't think we're really hitting the same beats again and again and again. So I think that's like,
if we do hit the same beats, there's obviously the swordsman trial to Karen's trial. The swordsman's trial lets us know how this kind of trial works.
Yeah, exactly. It's establishing. Which is what you need in something like this. You need an establishment. So yeah, I think it's kind of really interesting. So episode by episode, The Boys is better. As a season, I think The Boys is just kind of a mess. But you don't mind it so much because each episode you're having a nice time watching the episode.
Yeah.
This show, when I think about the season, I think about the story, I go, oh, this is pretty good stuff. Like, this is not damaging the MCU in any kind of significant way. Knowing what they're doing in season 3 from set photos, I'm very interested in that. But like at the same time, each individual episode can be a fucking oof, this is dumb, or how does this make sense, or but
who
like
is that guy?
Yeah, who is that guy? How am I supposed to know who this guy is? But yeah, so it's but you know what? If they only get one more season out of this show, it's still 6 seasons. It's not a terrible run of a TV show. 6 seasons, 10 years.
It's pretty wild. It will be I guess Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. won 7 seasons, right? But like, pretty long running Marvel show.
It's a long-running show, period, I think, in these days. I mean, I do think that the thing is that one of the problems with Daredevil as a show is that they keep having it be about Kingpin, and I get it, because Kingpin, D'Onofrio's so good, the character is so iconic within it. However, if it's just an endlessly Matt butting heads with the Kingpin, it's so boring eventually.
And very tiresome.
There's so many other kinds of villains they could be running up against. And so...
Which hopefully next season will be some of that.
But we know Kingpin's in next season.
I don't mind if Kingpin's in the show, but it's not so bad. Like, it wouldn't be a bad idea to do a season or 2 where Kingpin is not the problem. Like, follow his life, follow his stuff. He is an important part of the universe, so to speak. But like, if he is the big boss that Daredevil's dealing with again, it becomes at a certain point really goofy. I mean, like, in comics, there's more like allowance for that, but on a TV show where it's like, hold on, this guy was the mayor, and in theory, by the end of next episode, he's not the mayor anymore.
Right? No,
and everyone's going to find out all the bad things he did.
Yeah, we know he won't be. Yeah.
Yes.
Because we know S.H.I.E.L.D. is the mayor in Spider-Man. So yeah.
Yes. Yeah. And everyone's going to find out all the bad stuff he did. In theory, we don't know yet what's going to happen at the end of the episode, but like at a certain point, it gets hard to buy the idea that like he's still running around rich and like doing stuff on a TV show.
I don't have a problem with that. I don't have a. Have you seen The World?
I have, yes, but again, for a TV show.
I know, but the thing is that
we expect more logic out of a TV show than our own reality. Is what I'm saying.
It's rough. Yeah, I mean, the thing is, with a comic book, they will put the villain away for a minute.
Yes.
Or they will have the villain be behind the scenes in a significant enough way that it doesn't feel like they're present all the fucking time.
Yeah.
So there might be like a whole season where like Matt is dealing with like a bunch of other crooks or whatever, and then at the end of the storyline he runs into Kingpin. But yeah, Kingpin does disappear for periods though in all his comics. He does disappear for periods.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden it's the Owl is the one who's running a gang that's messing with Matt.
Right.
Or like ninjas show up. The Foot is running around, or the Hand rather.
The Hand. The Foot would be a cool crossover.
That would be.
But yeah, I mean, I don't, I would like to. Season 3, I really hope that Fisk is not the main bad guy. Although I don't trust that they know how to do anything else.
Can I give a theory of season 3? And I want to give fair warning to anyone listening. This is based on spoiler images that came out for season 3. I want to give a fair warning. Cut it off.
Yeah, so we're wrapping the episode up. So if you don't want to hear this stuff, just end the episode now. We're just going to wrap up after this. So, yeah.
I'm hoping that, because I believe you've seen the pictures too, with Lady
Muse.
Lady Muse. I'm hoping they're just doing the Sin Eater storyline. That she's just running around killing everyone connected to this stuff.
I mean, I doubt it, but
I doubt it too, but it'd be cool.
I doubt it, and also we know
Or
that
something
Matt's
along those lines. Something more, something where it's not like the whole city's gonna explode or like that kind of stuff. Like
I mean, we
something smaller,
know,
more-
again, spoilers, we know that Matt's in prison next season, for at least part of the season. I wouldn't, I doubt he's in it for the whole season, but there is a storyline where Matt's in prison, a run of the comic. I mean, yeah, I mean, I don't know how long that's going to go on. I don't know what that's going to mean. Lady Muse is going to be interesting. Again, we talked about this off the air. I don't really know how she's going to fight Daredevil. It does feel
especially
like
all the defenders.
yeah, all the defenders are going to be in the show next season. It really feels like they fuck her up. I mean, like immediately. She's a fucking psychologist. This is not like.
I mean, nothing against Karen Page, but Karen Page took 2 hits from her and was essentially fine. So I don't think Heather, you know.
But you know what'd be
again, I
funny?
mean, we discussed this off the show too. Like, somebody puts on a costume, they all of a sudden become a great fighter. I'm not.
Yeah, I allow it. I allow it usually. If Luke Cage is there, I'm having a harder time.
Luke Cage makes it harder. Yeah.
But I would be really great. I wish I had done this season, by the way. Fucking bring the power broker in.
Yeah.
Like, you have this character floating around out there. You don't even have to have the actual actor. Just have somebody be like, I went to the power broker and I got fucking powers. Like that.
Yeah.
You could just do that. Like, I don't.
Yeah.
And that also feels like a better MacGuffin for the season through the Freeport rather than guns. Guns just doesn't feel that interesting to me. They're not even science fiction guns, right? But like, is there like a whole fucking shipment of superpower juice?
MGH.
Yeah,
Remember that
MGH. Yeah. That the CIA is trying to get someplace. Like, that's a much, I think, more interesting take on this season than what they did. But Marvel feels like it's given up the power broker altogether.
Mr. Charles works for Valentina, right? Mm-hmm. Everything's gone bad with the Kingpin. Why, like in that scene where it's like, there's nothing, you know, oh, I'm against them now. Like, why is the CIA not just taking the Kingpin out? Like, why not be like, hey, New Avengers?
Well, here's the thing. I think that doesn't want to ask the New Avengers to get involved.
New Avengers would be major, but like,
it'd be too big a deal. I also think maybe he doesn't want to ask anybody at the CIA because it's embarrassing. He wants to just take care of it. And I think that
just fucking shoot him.
This episode is making it seem like he's going to be taking part of whatever happens next episode. This episode does make it seem like he's got a role to play, you know? So I guess we'll see.
Yes.
All right, that's it for this week. We'll be back again next week at the finale of Daredevil Born Again Season 2. After that, we have the Punisher special that we'll be talking about, which I believe has Frank Castle crying a bunch. Pretty exciting stuff.
Walk through the streets of New York carrying a baseball bat, true Italian style.
So we'll see you guys there.
Velour.
We'll see you guys there. Until next time, may you be happy, may you be healthy, may you be safe, may you be well, and we will see you somewhere across the Omniverse.